Hey there, I wanted to start talking about how to play with HTML code. I have a master's degree in IT with a focus of web design and database administration. So I've gotten into a few different programming languages. It starts with CSS. This is W3 schools. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, PHP. When you get into SQL and PHP, they kind of work together, and it's all within the HTML that you build first. So this is the structure of the website, the way that it gets laid out, and the CSS colors it and does a few more things, and then the SQL and PHP will put it into a database and pull it out of the database when you collect emails and collect information from users. It gets interactive at that point. So the HTML, very basic HTML, if you go here to this website, you come down here and you take this little snippet. This is very, very basic. So open up a Notepad so you can play along with this. You start your HTML and you end your HTML. Everything that you do now, you don't want to do it down here, you want to do it within the HTML, which you're going to want to have a body of the entire. Everything that happens within this entire body is going to have the same effect. If you wanted to say that the body has a background color of gray, then everything inside the start body and end body, which could be a paragraph, this paragraph is going to be within that background color. If I style, I can put any color background in right now for this entire here, and then this part will have the background too. So it's pretty simple when you start learning the basics. So if you get in here and you start writing this yourself, and then sometimes people like to indent, this is the proper way to have your code end up looking good later on. So you have your HTML, then the body, then the paragraph. You can have a table in between here. End the table. And then within the table, first row, end first row, and the first cell. So you have two cells here now, chapter 1, chapter 2. So you have the body, and then you have the table, end table here with the table row, and within the row there's going to be one spot here and one spot here that say chapter 1 and chapter 2. And the table ends, and then you have a paragraph here below the table that you can say this is below the table, and save this to your desktop as an HTML file. So it's going to my desktop already, and I want you to change this file name completely to my website.html. You can label this whatever you want, but make sure it ends in .html, and then change this to all files and save it to your desktop. So you can see this changed right here to my website.html. Minimize that, open up a new tab in Google, minimize a little bit so that you can see that, and this, nope, sorry, my website right here. So you take this and just drag it into Google, and there you have it. Oh, look at this, I put this here and I have a mistake here. So you go back to the Notepad, and now you can watch as you build right here in Google. Everyone can do this. This is just save your file the way that I just showed you how to save it, and now you can come back and manipulate. It looks like 2D, chapter 1, chapter 2, here we go. Add an extra piece there. This H needs to be lowercase. And let's make this bold with a B and B, and then save it and refresh it. And look at what happens here. So now I can go on, off the top of my head and start adding in some more HTML here. But now that you have this, make sure it's nice and neat. You have your body starting up here and your body ending down here. So everything inside this body could have a background color. Everything inside this table could have a background color only within this table ending at this part right here, end table. But the entire body could have a different background color. So that's CSS. We're still working on HTML, which is the body of the entire page. This is the layout of where you're going to have your first picture, your name here, this quote over here, all of these right here. This is a table with a bunch of TEDs. So I had chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 1, chapter 2. If I had 5 more of these, copy, let's do 6, and then save it, refresh it, bam. You can take this paragraph and say align center. So I know this off the top of my head, but you may not. Oh, it didn't work. That's the point. Sometimes you can mess up the code a little bit. So you come here to HTML and you start going down to see what else there is to offer. Okay, H1 tag. Let's take this H1 tag and put it into our little spot over here. Let's make the table one more row with a TR and TR, and then we're going to put a TD and TD. Always finish and end it so you know what you're putting down right in between it. So now we're going to put an H1 tag inside a row above all of these chapters. So all these chapters, everything will be pushed down a little bit, and above that will be what I'm putting right here in this row, which is an H1, so it's going to be much bigger and bolder than that, and it's going to say what it says right here. Save, refresh. Okay, so what it did was it took this is row 1 of the table and row 2 of the table, and since this is all the way out here, this is where this first part of the thing ends. So you call span TD here, call span equals how many of these there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am extending the length of this all the way out to 6. Alright, so you can keep coming down and keep adding new code into just a simple paragraph. We had a paragraph down here and we made it bold. Okay, so write another paragraph. Keep playing with this code where you start and you end. This is what helps you get much better at coding. And if you keep this right here, this is a guide, this is a library, this isn't, you don't have to memorize every single thing that you do. This is just going to come naturally, and copying and pasting is what you are going to be doing a lot. If you want this to say chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out to 100, you can write them all out. But once you get into JavaScript, you'll see that you can just put a little loop statement and drop all 100 down without having to copy and paste it 100 times. So you can keep writing. This is a second paragraph. Come back here. Oops. Here. Second paragraph. Now, so this is what's going to happen. You don't know exactly what else this has to offer. So let's actually click on CSS because this is what actually puts background color and things like that that you might be a little bit more interested in, but the HTML is what actually makes the paragraphs and the boxes. Okay, so the body. All right, let's try it anyway. Why not? So this is going to label the paragraph. So I can come in here and hit style and put these right in there, style. So I copy and paste this font because I'm in a paragraph. This is a paragraph and this is a paragraph. This is called inline. So I'm in the line right now. I change the font size, save it. This should change the font size, see it bumped up. Okay, now it didn't bump up in this paragraph, but they're both paragraphs. So I can copy this and paste it in this paragraph. Same thing, of course. But what else you can do is come up here at the top of the HTML before the body, and you have head and head. And within this is, if you come over here and look at this, this is the name of the file right here, and it's popping up even in Google right now. So I can change that with a title in the head. If you put this into the HTML, it's not going to do anything. Let's change it to my cool website. Exclamation. Save. Refresh. My cool website up top. This is in the head. This is where